welcome to the Pikeville City Managers Report. I'm your host, Jill Fraley-Dotson. As always, we get together to discuss the things going on in and around the city of Pikeville. Today's guest, as always, Pikeville City Manager Philip Elswick.
Hey,
Good
Jill.
day, sir.
Hello.
Hey. And we have a guest with us today that we're going to get to. Robin Irwin, though, is our guest today, and she has a lot of great information for us about her new position and some exciting things coming to the city of Pikeville. But first, it's been a while since we met, so we have a lot of things to update everyone on. And the first thing is, one of the reasons Robin is here is to talk about the previous Jenny Wiley Theater and what has happened in the last 6 weeks or so concerning that facility.
Yeah, Jenny Wiley's been our tenant at the theater building for a few years now, but over time there's been an accumulation of excessive debt and perhaps some mismanagement. So the city has terminated their lease and evicted them from the building. And we have taken that facility over ourselves and leased it to the Expo to operate. And there's a lot of synergy between what a theater does and what the Expo does through, the ticketing and event staff and catering and the financial management, as well as booking shows there, in addition to the theater that Robin will be doing. So, it's a cost savings for the theater and operates that much like we will the Expo. Now, we've changed the name from just a theater to Appalachian Center for the Arts, and that was at Robin's suggestion. And the naming is very important because it's no longer just a theater. It's a venue for the Expo that can be booked for functions and events, but it's also somewhere we're going to have arts of all sorts, painting exhibits and art exhibits, music, things of that nature. So the name of that building is very important, and we refer to it as the app. So if you hear the app, that's what we're talking about.
I think a lot of people don't understand and really didn't realize that over the course of the years that facility has been able to be booked for parties or events or venues, and it really hasn't been utilized to its fullest potential. So now with this becoming a different name and a different center, then all of those offerings are available.
Absolutely.
Yes.
When Robin came to work for us, or I guess much to your chagrin, I told you that we want some function in that building on a daily basis.
Right.
That's our goal.
Well, and two, it can be used for school events.
Yes.
Getting our kids exposed to the arts in general is something that we all are mindful of.
Yes.
And certainly the Appalachian Center for the Arts, the app, will lend itself to that. We do have a great vision for the facility, and we want to recruit big things to come into our area.
We do. The commission has a very strong vision for the arts in the downtown area. It's dating back to our last comprehensive plan. This has always been a focus of what we're trying to do in the downtown area. And it's important to our quality of life. It's important for property values in the downtown area, and then also for economic development. Having theater and art in the downtown or in the city at all is a real recruitment tool to our anchor institutions as they seek to recruit staff to the area. And then nationally, there are statistics that show that a person attending an arts event will spend $25 outside of that event in your economy. So that's a tremendous boost to the economy and one of the many reasons that we're seeking to do arts in the downtown area.
We have a number of things that are happening within that area, what we refer to as the 2D district, with what's happening on Division Street and 2nd Street, and then, right there at the corner, the app is there. So really recruiting people and from not just the Pikeville area, but certainly throughout the region to come to that area and shop and eat and view and take part in what's going on is what we really, it's the basis of everything that we're doing. The app also has an advisory board that's been established to give insight.
It does. The Expo Board of Directors has appointed 10 people to serve on this board, and they're people really from across cut of our culture, I suppose. From business to arts, teaching, things of that nature. So that board will be serving in an advisory capacity, a way to generate excitement for the arts, to use their network to promote the arts. So we're excited about what their vision is and what they can bring to that.
Well, we are certainly excited to get to know Robin a little bit better. You've just been on the job for a very short amount of time, but certainly you've already really dug your heels in to what we're wanting to do. So let's introduce everybody. I know Robin is from New Jersey.
I am. I've lived in New York, New Jersey for 25 years, but my roots are not there. I always say I grew up in Illinois, in a town not unlike Pikeville. I mean, it was 90 minutes to an expressway to get to even like to venture forth into Chicago. So I am acquainted with small and rural, and my husband, he doesn't count because he's from Boston, so we just discount his Yankee roots. But I understand the culture of a small town and with big dreams. And when we were looking for a town or a place with our daughter, we have a 7-year-old, we just wanted to, we really want to downsize because New York is wonderful. New York and New Jersey are unique places in the country, but we just wanted a small town for raising Miranda. And this job came up, or rather, the job with Jenny Wiley came up, and I interviewed, and I met with Philip in October, and I asked him, I said, okay, where do you see this town being in 10 years? And he said, Asheville. And I said, my friend, you said the right answer. Because I did my due diligence. I did research for 6 weeks, and then when I did take the position, I really researched everything, and everyone, and I said, this is what I want, and this is a place to grow, and this is a place of change, and you have to know that you have stakeholders and allies enlisted in what you want to do. And it's, I think what I did notice is that before, and what went before is great, and it had its place and its value and its brand, and it stood for something. But now Pikeville is changing. Kentucky is changing. East Kentucky is changing. And I have a number of friends from college who live in Kentucky and Lexington, and they said, oh, I don't know why you want to go there. I said, I want to go there. The people are amazing. I was down here for 3 days, 4 days, and I was like, I'm in love with everything about this place. And it led me to believe that when you tap into the spirit of resourcefulness and ingenuity and positivity, because there's naturally there's feuding in your blood. I mean, it's just feuding is in your blood, and that territorial thing, you can make it work for you too. And I am a big tent person. I said I want I'm a rising tide lifts all boats. All those cliches apply to me and my philosophy that we are stronger together. And there's no thing that I know, no means, no application more strong, with more influence than the arts. That's how you teach your kids to sing the ABCs. And we all, of a certain age, know the preamble to the Constitution, and they'll go, "We the people in order to form School of Rock." This all that music and culture is inherent, and this culture just had so much of it to give, and I want to give them a place to cultivate that.
It is certainly clear that you have a massive love for the arts and for what you do. I'm just curious as to how you as a child got interested in the arts. What was your defining moment that you knew this was something that you wanted your career path to be?
Well, my mother was, oh dear. Oh, do you have a no, it's not therapy, guys. I'm from a family of medical people, okay? Either hospital administrators or doctors or nurses. And again, everyone was forced to do something cultural, dance, play music, draw, paint. And because that bettered society and it was an outlet, whatnot, whatever you call that. And I just happened to fall in love with dancing, and I fell in love with music, and I fell in love with theater. And my mother, when I was in high school, she was like, okay, you're not going to conservatory, but you have to get a BS, you have to get a 4-year degree, but if you want you're going to go to the best place for it. And it really was in high school when I saw the Fantastics, and I played Louisa at another community theater, and I said, oh my God, I love this. I've taught for 15 years in the colleges and universities, and I say to parents when they say, oh God, what am I going to do? Because there is a meme, there is a belief that if you're in the arts, you're poor, and the starving artist. That's traditionally how the arts are seen. And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. But I say to them, they're going to rebel against you if you don't let them do it, or they're going to come back to me. I coach children and lawyers who decide when they're 33, they're like, I hate my job, I hate everything I'm doing, and I want to be an actor. And that is the biggest transition, incidentally. The Actors Work Program, it's a federally funded program through the Displaced Workers Act that they said, they went up to Albany and they said, our factory's closed too, and our show's closed too. And so that's it falls under the auspices of that. And they said, the largest transition is from actor to lawyer and lawyer to actor.
Wow.
I know.
Would have never thought that.
I know. But it's kind of the same because they have to be verbal, they have to be vocal, they have to know how to make their case. When you teach acting, you're always saying you're making your case. You want to win your argument. And it's kind of the same thing. I actually coached lawyers when I was like 24, coached lawyers how to win their cases in court with a small company. We got a contract with the Chicago Bar Association. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a sense of, it's resourceful. You have to be resourceful. I know how to be resourceful, that's for sure.
Had some practice in that, have you?
Oh, yes.
So let's talk a little bit about your staff at the
Yes.
app. And I know you're working with a great group of people. Your husband is involved with what you do. And
Yes.
obviously your little girl, I'm sure, has a love
Oh,
of the
Lord.
arts completely.
And, I will say, I'm like, oh. And she shows real proficiency in math and science. And I'm always buying her medical kits. And
It's okay.
I have an agenda. Mommy has an agenda. And my husband, Eric Buckley, is on staff. And I know people are like, I know. I'm working with my husband. But, this is a family effort. And one of the things that everyone who does theater, and that's the way in. What's the way into the work? It's the theater is my way in. Feels a sense of family and a sense of belonging. Because honestly, what you have to do, and the fact that you just are sweaty, I know teams feel like that too. If you run, if you play soccer, anyone feels that they're a family. And I feel like might as well bring your real one down. So Eric Buckley is, he's prolific. He has been on Broadway about 8 times, and not just the street. He's been on there a lot more times. But he's been on Broadway, done many shows, Phantom of the Opera, Les Mis,
All of those names
Kiss
that
Me
we,
Kate, yeah.
Right, that
Yeah.
we identify with.
Yes, all those. And but we both grant write, and he's a very prolific writer. And when you are an artist, you do all things. You wear all things. You wear all hats. And so, he's written for jobs, and he's a paralegal, and he has all sorts of skills. And he's a teacher. We taught at NYU, both of us did. And he taught for 5 years in their voice program and vocal program. And so he was like, we made this decision together. And he said, I want to go, and this is an opportunity to be part of something and a part of a community. And that's what we wanted, you know. So he is the Director of Education Outreach. And my recruit from New Jersey, Noah Beffler, was my assistant at Montclair State. And he's the artistic line producer, which is he is the other half of my brain. And also he's handling digital marketing and designing the look. He designed this. And Shannon Kirkpatrick Daniels is the production manager. And what's the production manager? She basically, anything that comes into the space, she will know everything that they need, that they want, everything. She will process everything and tell them what they need to do. And she also is a teacher. She's also in education. She's the education coordinator. She does the outreach to the community as well. And she's been here about 7 or 8 years. She's a transplant. She's from Milwaukee, but she married an Appalachian. She married Robert Daniels, who's a wonderful, talented person as well. And she's a great resource and unbelievably talented, just so talented. We're like, Shannon, I want something that looks like this and does that. And she comes back, she's like, here it is. I'm like, what the heck? How do you do that? Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. And then Eric Franson is he's the production designer. He is, he makes everyone look beautiful and everything beautiful. And he also has a master's degree in design. So he can make a set appear in 2 days, or he can make someone look ridiculous by wearing a wig and a silly dress. So he has those skills as well. And then James Cantrell. He comes in June 1st. He's the TD, and the TD knows how to run everything and all the details, right? Our friend over there knows TD as well. The technical director, how the lights work, how the sounds work, all the carpentry and all those details. So I'm hoping, one issue that so many people in the community have shared with me is that they felt disconnected, or they weren't included, and it's such an opportunity. The theater theater skills are life skills, and the theater can teach anything. It can teach math, it can teach engineering. We had the junior engineering club from Pikeville Elementary last week, and all the kids all the kids were in there, and they were working the light board and working the sound board and building a cue, and they were like, I didn't even know this place was here. Yeah. I didn't even, and I haven't been here, but I want to be here now. And do you have a technical theater camp? I'm like, yes, we do.
We'll put that on the list. For sure.
Okay, do it. So these are skills that Kentucky is just brilliant at instilling people with workable skills. We just have to give them something to do, and theater skills are those skills.
There are so many moving parts. As I sat here and listened to you describe each one of those jobs, and Philip and I both were just amazed with everything that goes on with theater, because you think you just see the finished product.
That's right.
But there are so many skills and so many avenues that our folks here and our kids here can certainly tap into. There are a lot of programs coming up, a lot of shows, and a lot of different things that are starting now in the summer.
Oh, yes.
So I know that you have that information.
Yes.
We want to make sure everyone knows what opportunities are out there for our kids this summer and what shows are coming up. So I'm going to let you just give us a list of things that this brochure, by the way, too, is a great informational piece that you can pick up at the Economic Development Office. You can pick it up at the Center for, no, at the Expo Center.
Yes.
And in the Visitor Center there. So it will display everything that's going on.
Yes.
With what's coming up. So I'm going to let you explain some of that.
Well, and also we are available for rentals. There wasn't necessarily programming in there, adult professional programming, because we were supposed to be elsewhere. But now that we're going to be there, we're working, and Paul Bowles is amazing. He's like, the life of a booker. We were texting last night. He's like, and I'm like, well, what about him? And what about him? And I just want to help him. And he's like, I'm good. I'm good.
He has a handle, right?
No, he's like, it's good. But Confederate Railroad
Yes.
is in there on the 30th, so they're going to be awesome in the app. And
Those tickets are on sale.
they are on sale on Ticketmaster. But our first event that we're producing is June 17th, and it is a Appalachian Masterclass. A Masterclass is basically people who have reached a master level. Cast members from the Broadway National Tour of Hamilton are coming to Pikeville to teach original choreography from the show. Yes, and like a singing workshop, and the tickets are $50 for 3 hours, and you can get up and do anything you want to do with the guys. Andy Tofa and Wanza Johnson are the guys. Wanza is just the standby for Hamilton, Aaron Burr, Lafayette, and Thomas Jefferson, and he just stands by for those guys. That's all he does. And he goes on every week, but he's coming, and then Andy Tofa is going to come as a dancer, and he's teaching a choreography from the show. So that's June 17th, and I can't really go public with the other thing, but we have a new partnership with University of Virginia at Wise, just over the border. We're about to sign a memorandum of agreement with them. And Michael McNulty is the chair of theater and visual arts there, and we met each other at a conference, and we just struck up a friendship, and through Shannon introduced me, and he was like, hey, you do all the kinds of things I like, and we need something this, and it just happened that it was there was serendipity in it, and synergy, as Philip said, and so. They are producing a children's theater production of Alice in Wonderland, and we're going to have them here the weekend in June of the 19th, 20th, and 21st. Okay. So those tickets will be on sale as well, and they're for kids, and it's lots of fun, about an hour. Alice in Wonderland, you can't beat it. And Alice finds, I think, what did he say? It's funky. I don't quote me, but I think she's sort of stuck inside a different story. She's like, wait a minute, I don't belong in this story. I belong in that story. So I'm focusing on stories. Commissioner Branscombe, the Commissioner for Tourism in Kentucky, the theme for the year is storytelling. And coming down the pike, of course, I want to have a storytelling night or something with songwriters. I'm talking to a bunch of songwriters locally about how they come to write their songs. And so that's also an event that we're going to put in once a month. Come, pay $5, 2 drinks, and just talk about your music, and like 3 songwriters and 3 storytellers. It's going to be hopping. The joint is going to be jumping. But this summer, we have Frog and Toad, the year of Frog and Toad with the kids for 5 to 8. And just June 24th to June 29th. And it's $175, and there are 3 performances, and it's a blast. It's not quite full, but we want little kids to come and join in. And it's so many kids, so many people they meet me and they say, oh, Lord, she's dramatic. Oh, Lord, oh, I can't even keep the camera off her. And come on in, come on by. Let's see what you got. And High School Musical 2, which is for 9 to 13, is closed. But there is a waiting list, but it's quite full. And then the other one is Godspell Junior. Junior means it's a simplified version. It doesn't have such elaborate orchestrations. It comes with tracks. Juniors are a really great invention of Music Theater International, and that is every high school, every community theater, every summer camp is just so grateful to them for coming up with this package. And so that is for 13 and up. And, give or take, I'm turning 13 in September, and, I'm 13, but my brother's 11, and we have to do, it's like, sure, the more the merrier, the more the merrier. And Eric is teaching it and directing it, and Shannon, and it's those performances for Godspell are July 26th and 27th, and for High School Musical, they're the 12th and the 13th. And those camps for 2 weeks, 9 to 3, are $275. And again, no child is ever turned away. No child is ever turned away. I'm saying it one more time. No child is ever turned away. We're starting a scholarship fund, and we're going to have a fundraiser just for the scholarship fund. And so that takes us through July. And then in August, we are rolling out the first professional show, which is $1 Million Quartet. And that is the, I'll tell you, I'll read it to you.
It's right
This
there.
is much more, my husband wrote this copy, and I wrote Sally McCoy. On December 4th, 1956, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, Carl Perkins, and Elvis all found themselves in Sun Records in Memphis, Tennessee, and proceeded to record a legendary jam album. So it's really Sam Phillips' story. Sam Phillips is the mastermind behind Sun Records, who found Elvis, and it just takes place one night in the studio, and they jam the whole night. And really, if I had to give this season a name, I would call it Southern Grit. Grit is a sort of a buzzword in the education and zeitgeist of thinking and learning, and but grit is what everyone had all along. Grit is what everyone down here has had all along,
Right.
Which is that they're survivors, and it's about that struggle for artistic voice, artistic license against what the commerce, so it's the marriage of art and commerce. So that takes us through July 24th, and then of course Sally McCoy. It's an original piece by Al Stanley. They had it at the Barter last season, and I got the rights to it, and it's really wonderful. It's in the middle of the Hatfield-McCoy feud. There's a lot of times the story is told from the male perspective, and this is Sally McCoy's perspective. She's pleading for her son's life. She's going to Devil Ance's house, and she's pleading for her son's lives. And it's about that night, how she bargains for their survival. And I'll let you know how it ends. And Moonshine and Mistletoe is the Christmas show, and that's an Appalachian Christmas celebration. It's set around the Ballard family welcomes friends and family into their Kentucky mountain home to celebrate Christmas Day in the midst of the Great Depression. And it uses, it's found music. It's all Appalachian hymns and mountain hymns and tunes and things that'll be very familiar. I want everyone up and dancing in the aisles. It can in order to make a theater indispensable and intrinsic to a community, they have to feel they have skin in the game. And how more can you have skin in the game but to get up and dance and sing and be a part of it? So that's the professional season, and Frozen Junior, of course, is the pièce de résistance.
Yes.
We're going to double cast it, so it's up to 18. So we'll sort of have an older cast, sort of high school age, and then we'll do like middle school. That Anna and Elsa, those are the coveted roles, I imagine.
I can imagine
Yes.
how much interest there will be in
Yes,
that particular
yes,
performance.
yes, and those are the and Olaf and whatnot, and we want to really, theater is an experience. It's an experience. It's not just coming in, getting a drink, sitting down. That's great, leaving, and then going home. I want people to have an experience that they can remember and they can take with them, and I'm open. My office, it's up in the light booth right now. But come on down, and we're going to have focus groups. What do you want to see? What do you want to participate in? And you want to partner with us? Great. You want to partner with someone else and then partner with us? Great. We want to be an indispensable location and destination for all the people in the community.
Well, certainly so. There is so much excitement around the app and
There
what it
is.
is bringing to our community. The website is up.
Yes.
theapparts.org.
Yes.
So you can go there and find out all about the shows that are coming up and the particular camps that are going to be there. And we are looking forward to having you in our downtown area and making sure that people know that the app is not just for theater production, but for a host of other things.
You bet.
And a venue that will be utilized. And who would have ever thought Confederate Railroad would be
Awesome.
in the app?
And that's
coming
what I
up.
love. Like Confederate Railroad, and Paul was telling me someone
Some
else
other
is trying
people?
to get. I'm like, oh my god! I was really excited when he told me this one person's name, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that's so awesome.
It is certainly an intimate venue that lends
Yes.
itself to so many different things. So we're excited, and Robin,
Yes.
we appreciate you being here and explaining everything. And I know that you're in and around the community, and like you said, you're there and open for discussion on a host of things. And people just need to stop by and say hello.
Stop by and say hello. Seriously, come by, and we're like, hey, you want to tour? Sure. And so many people who've never been in have been in the past 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, come on in. This is yours. This
Stronger-
is yours.
Stronger together and interested
That's
in
right.
everything going on. That's a great motto to have. We've had a lot of Robin. Thank you for
Thank
being here.
you.
We've had some change going on.
We have.
With a few different positions.
Right.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But one of those, this is kind of strange, was the economic development position. So talk a little bit about that and where we've gone with that.
Well, we've hired you.
That's a crazy kind of segue, isn't it?
No.
No, that was a position that we had. We set out with a particular kind of candidate in mind, and you certainly fit all of those parameters. So we're excited to have you, and we think you're going to do a great job.
Thanks. I'm excited, and of course, I was telling Robin earlier, I have a career in broadcast and marketing and those sorts of things, and I've worked with the city for a long time.
Right.
So I've been kind of, for the past 9 years, have seen so many things grow and change. And you mentioned, where do we see the city in 10 years? I know what it was 10 years ago,
Right.
and to see where it is now is just a remarkable feat in and of itself, to see that in that comprehensive plan and how that commission then felt as to where our region and our city needed to be then, to see it actually be there and be in place is amazing.
The comprehensive plans are just vital to what Pikeville is today and where we'll be in the future.
Yeah.
And we do those every 5 years, and we then work that plan for the next 5 years.
And it is heavily worked, I can promise you that. But some of the things that I'm excited about is our work with the city, obviously with our local business owners and entrepreneurs that want to, maybe never thought they could have had a business before, but have always wanted that. So that's a big focus. But our work, obviously we have the Kentucky Industrial Park, or Enterprise Industrial Park, that we want tenants in. We have our first tenant there, and they're getting ready, Silver Liner, to move their staff and all their production there, so that's exciting. And certainly a catalyst for what we can bring in to fill up the rest of that space. It's a
Right.
big space, but it will
is.
be filled.
It will be.
We will guarantee it will be filled at some point. But also, our retail industry and our restaurant industry, and certainly our small businesses that have really sustained sustained Pikeville for so long, our downtown area, and Robin, I know you have seen this, the
Yes.
walkability of downtown and our restaurants and shops are what really sets us apart from any other town, I think,
Right.
in our region. So we're excited about that. But there's so many different incentives that are going on. We
There
have a host of incentives that for current property owners, for commercial property owners, that there'll be some money that we can help out with if it's the revitalization of maybe their business, or as you start to grow your own business, you can see there on your screen how to make this your town is something that we're really focused on. But if if you're a business owner or a potential business owner and you have questions about any of the incentives, one of our big incentives is the street level tenants that we want to get filled up. There's some spaces downtown that will be perfect opportunities for people that are wanting to bring in an interesting business. And these are not franchise businesses too. These are things that are mom and pop owned that really lend itself to the cultural heritage of our downtown. So a lot of different things that people can contact our office about now. It is in the Economic Development Office on Haley Boulevard. So I am open and eager.
You're open too.
I am. I'm open. Come by, say hello. And if you have any questions about anything that that we're doing downtown that can help you and help the viability of our downtown area, certainly I want to talk to you. And we have a great staff. I mean, that is, and we're all on the same page.
Right.
I think, and that is to really increase the way that we live here, the quality of life that our people have. You know, we're planting seeds for the next generation, and certainly want them to continue to be here and to be in Appalachia. When you say 10 years, Asheville, that's a vision that we have, and not just for our theater industry and our downtown industry, but certainly for our industrial park. We have an amazing workforce.
We do.
And
really
we're
do.
ready to put them to work. So I'm excited. I'm grateful for the opportunity and to be able to work on this side,
Right.
on this side of the fence, so to speak.
Right.
We're excited to have you. So
So, well, it's going to be a good time.
It will.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We do want to make everyone aware of some events that are going on downtown. We talked about Confederate Railroad, which I'm looking forward to. I mean, it's amazing that that's going to be in that facility.
Amazing.
But it is starting in the summer season, so
is.
that's when everything, Robin, you'll see, starts to really ramp up.
Yep.
So what's coming up at the Expo?
Well, at the Expo, which is soon to be the Appalachian Wireless Arena,
Yes.
Paw Patrol is going to be there the 1st and 2nd of June, and then REO Speedwagon on the 5th, and then there's a Jeep thing event.
It's thing.
It's thing.
You
Andy
cannot
will
say
correct you.
thing. It
I
is
couldn't
thing.
bring myself to say
I
that.
know.
On June the
Andy will
7th.
correct you.
7th through the 9th, actually, that weekend. So a lot of events there. Main Street program has their Dinner in White on June the 15th, and that's the event we have at the intersection of Main Street and Division Street, and it just grows every year, and it's a great event.
There's no rain date for that. So if it does happen to rain, we've had this problem in the past, we are going to have a different venue for that. So it'll be fine.
And then Main Street Live kicks off this month in June 7th, 8th, and 21st at the Billy Johnson stage. So
Never a dull moment.
never.
No.
And I venture to say the next time we sit down to do this, there will be a whole listing of events that people can literally pull their calendar out, mark it on there, because we've always said in the city that there's always something to do for everybody in every walk of life. You never have to leave to find something to do and activities for your family. Of course, the horse trail's open. The river will be open soon,
will.
as soon as it stops raining. So
Right.
those are adventures that you can certainly do and book at the Expo Center in the
Right,
Visitor
in the
Center
Visitor
now.
Center.
So if you haven't stopped by there, make sure you do that.
Right.
Or Jimmy Taylor will be very upset.
Very
He
upset.
wants to make sure that everybody knows that. But it's an exciting time as we approach the summer months. It's always a fun place to be. And Robin, I know that you're going to enjoy it here and your family. So welcome
It's
to
so
you.
beautiful. I
Yeah.
mean, just the sheer beauty of the country. It's rugged and it I just can't say enough about it.
It is amazing.
I
Well,
I can't say enough.
Lived my entire life here, and I wouldn't be anyplace else.
And I should tell you, on the weekend of the Jeep thing, just because
Thanks.
Andy will get you, it's on the Saturday. The app is going to be about a center for bounce houses for the kids.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, so we're going to have like 5 bounce houses in there, and have at it, kids.
Bring your Jeep, bring your kids, bounce
Yep.
in the house. It'll be
That's right.
perfect.
That's it.
All right. Certainly, you can go to visitpikeville.com. Pikevilleky.gov has a whole listing of things. Don't forget, you can rent all of our venues online, so there's no need to run people down. I mean, it's all right there. And we will get together soon to talk about more things going on in our city. Thanks, guys, so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you.
This has been the Pikeville City Manager's Report. Thank you so much for joining us.